Hi, this is another rant. Now, some of you may have seen some of my other commentaries roughly about Buffy and Angel and Firefly slash Serenity and television in general. All this hoopla and ranting and raving, I forgot to rant about another show that have to say I'm guilty of actually liking while it was on. Well, at least later seasons, not the early ones. And I'm talking about Charmed. Charm is in television history the longest running television series with an all female leads, surpassing Laverne and Shirley. That being said, before I really get into it, unlike Buffy and Angel, I'm not one of those people who sat down and watched every episode. As a matter of fact, when it first came on, I really wasn't about to get into it. I had Buffy, and that was enough for me from the WB. It wasn't until season 4 that I really started to get into it. Of course, that was the time when Prue was killed off and they replaced her with Paige. Seasons 4 through 8 were the ones that I really got into. And, all of you know what the show is about. 3 sisters who are powerful witches, and they're destined to fight the forces of evil. That pretty much is the gist of it. And when I watched I actually decided to take a chance on some of the earlier shows from the first 3 seasons to give it a chance. But for the most part, I could tell why they fired Shannon Doherty, because it seemed like Prue was pretty much in every scene, and Piper and Phoebe, played by Holly Marie Combs and Alyssa Milano respectively, where they were sort of pushed into the background. There was this one episode in particular where Prue was kidnapped, and then you didn't really see the other 2 actresses, which I found very odd, because then it's supposed to be about all 3 of them. Of course, that pretty much changed when they introduced Paige, and then all 3 of them got ample and equal screen time. And of course, there was the character Cole Turner, who was the half demon who was fighting himself, and he was trying to be good, but he couldn't resist being evil, and they had to kill him anyway, something like that. For the most part, this is unlike Buffy, which I was proud to watch. I consider the show my guilty pleasure. It is a female-dominated cast, and it is targeted by women. And if I told any of my friends that I watched the show, they probably disown me and throw me off a cliff or something. Because that's what guys do. They disown their friends when their friends watch strange things. Of course, I didn't find Charmed very strange. It's kind of like Bewitched, but with action in it. And there's 3 of them, not just one. What else do I want to say? Oh, well, it ran for 8 seasons, which is pretty odd for this show of its type, for it to run this long. Some of the things I liked about it, of course, it had great special effects. Some of the witch's powers is very individual. It was very tied to their personalities. Like most of the time when people create characters of this type, it's sort of like when the Fantastic Four, their powers are tied to their personality. There's similar ways with the Charmed ones. Phoebe, she's born with premonitions, and she has power of empathy, and that ties into the fact that she has a advice column that helps people with their lives and their relationships. Of course, she can also fly, and of course they have to throw in the fact that she took martial arts for years, and therefore made her like a Buffy-esque character. She deals more with matters of the heart. She's more of an expert on that than the other 2. Piper, she has the ability to freeze time and or blow things up if she wants. Once Prue was killed off, she had to take over as the lead sister because she was the middle child. And with Paige stepping into the picture, she became the oldest child. Like I said, she's the most grounded and most, I don't know, she's the most grounded of the three. She's also the first one to become a parent, and throughout the entire series until the very last episode, Forever Charm, she was the only one that out of the three that was married and had children. Phoebe was married to Cole, but that ended disastrously. Piper was married to Leo, who was a white lighter, which, according to the universe in the show, that sort of thing is forbidden. White lighters aren't supposed to marry witches, or they're not supposed to engage in relationships with their charges, much less marry them. And so they were bucking the trend with that. That was another nice plot point they had. Paige is half white lighter. Now, according to this story, you see, Phoebe and Piper didn't have the same father as Paige. Their father and mother had split, and their mother had a secret affair with her white lighter, which resulted in Paige being born. And of course, since their white lighter witch love was forbidden, Paige had to be given up for adoption. Her parents were killed, but unfortunately, she grew up pretty rough. She ended up getting the power of telekinesis, but since she's half white lighter, it's sort of mutated into a different aspect. Much the way Leo orbs around, she orbs things around with her telekinesis powers. And by the final season, she gains the ability to heal people she cares about. And of course, they had another subplot, like I think in the 6th season to the 8th season, where they had this thing called Magic School, which is kind of odd, where they teach people who have magic powers how to use their powers responsibly. Now, pretty much every episode, all from the 4 seasons that I did watch, I really did enjoy. And right now, I don't have cable, unfortunately. But eventually, I think they will put it into syndication. Maybe on Peachtree TV, since we don't have fucking TBS anymore. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. One thing that raised my mind is I found it very strange, since Buffy and Angel and Charmed were all on the same network at one time. Wouldn't it behoove them to have some sort of Buffy, Angel, Charmed crossover? I thought that'd be pretty neat. Buffy helping the witches fight some evil, or them having to leave San Francisco to Sunnydale to find the Slayer, or of course, since the Charmed storyline doesn't happen in the Whedonverse, that would not go down. Which is something I perfectly understand. I'm just throwing it out there. I was just wanted to take the time to rant and rave about that, because I haven't made a video in a minute. As far as action movie reviews go, I don't have any action movies to review right now. But when I do, I'll keep y'all posted. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening to me run my mouth.